Zayan Malik was a name that echoed in the world of business. A billionaire known for sharp deals and luxurious living, he owned everything from tech startups to private islands. People admired him, feared him, and envied his success. But Zayan had a flaw. He trusted no one, and listened to even fewer. In his grand mansion, tucked away in the servant quarters, lived Ruqayya, a simple, kind-hearted maid in her 40s. She had worked for him for years, quietly doing her job. To Zayan, she was invisible. But that day, she would become his unlikely guardian. While cleaning the hallway, Ruqayya overheard Zayan on the phone. "Yes, the meeting is set. Old Crown Hotel. 7 sharp," he said. She froze. Old Crown Hotel? That place was abandoned and feared in the community. Everyone whispered it was cursed or used for dark dealings. As Zayan walked past her, she gathered her courage. "Sir, may I speak?" He barely glanced her way. "What is it?" "I heard about your meeting. Please don't go to that place. It's dangerous." Zayan raised an eyebrow. "You're warning me?" "Yes," she said softly. "That hotel, it has a bad history. People go there and don't come back." He laughed. "You believe in ghost stories?" "I believe in instincts," she replied. Zayan shook his head. "Thanks for the concern, but I can take care of myself." He didn't realize she had just tried to save his life. That evening, Zayan arrived at the Old Crown Hotel in his sleek black limo. His driver, Tariq, hesitated. "Sir, are you sure? This place looks wrong?" "I've made deals in worse places," Zayan replied. He walked into the hotel. It was dark, musty, and half-collapsed. But Zayan didn't flinch. Inside, a man stepped out of the shadows. "Mr. Malik, you're right on time." 3 others joined him. Zayan extended his hand, but instead, they pulled out weapons. "What is this?" Zayan demanded. "You destroyed our company," the man growled. "East Tech Electronics. You bought it, shut it down, and walked away rich. We lost everything." Zayan remembered. It had been just business. But for them, it was their life. "You ruined our families. Now, we ruin yours." They tied him up, took his phone, and began demanding passwords, bank access, and confidential data. Back at the mansion, Ruqayya couldn't sit still. A strange heaviness filled her heart. She called Zayan's number. No answer. She called the driver. Still nothing. Panic grew inside her. Without thinking, she grabbed the keys to the backup car and drove off. She had never driven so far, but something pulled her to that place. When she arrived at the Old Crown Hotel, she saw Zayan's limo. Her hands trembled. She crept around the back of the hotel and peeked through a broken window. What she saw nearly stopped her heart. Zayan was tied up. He was bleeding. 3 men surrounded him, shouting. She stepped back, breathing hard, and called the police. "Please come quickly. My boss is being held at the Old Crown Hotel. Hurry!" Then, without waiting, she found a side door and slipped inside. Inside, the men were growing impatient. "Give us the codes!" one yelled. Zayan spat blood. "Never!" Suddenly, a noise echoed in the hallway. "Police! Drop your weapons!" Officers stormed in. Chaos erupted. 2 kidnappers tried to run, but one was caught immediately. In the confusion, Ruqayya rushed in and untied Zayan. "You?" he said, stunned. "We have to go!" she cried. They fled through the side while the police took control. The next morning, Zayan lay in a hospital bed, bruised, exhausted, but safe. Ruqayya came to visit, hesitant. He waved her in. "You saved me," he said slowly. "I didn't even listen to you, but you risked everything for me." "I only did what I felt was right," she said quietly. He opened a drawer and handed her a folder. "This is a house for you. and your children's education is now my responsibility. Also, from now on, you're head of my household staff. Tears welled in her eyes. Thank you, sir. Number. Thank you. You reminded me that sometimes wisdom doesn't wear a suit. Zion changed after that night. He listened more, visited his factories, treated his workers as human beings, not numbers, and he never ignored anyone again, especially those who speak softly but truthfully. As for Ruqayya, she moved into her new home with her children and lived a life of dignity, respect, and peace. Moral: never underestimate the power of intuition, and never ignore someone just because they seem small. Sometimes, those with the quietest voice carry the loudest truth. Urdu translation: Kurde.